Welcome to Poetry Changes Lives, my book of poetry, history, and a thought for the day, all in one unique book. Go to my website, poetrychangeslives.com, if you want more information, and if indeed you would like to buy the book. On this day, in history, in 1923, the American author Joseph Heller was born. Heller was a New Yorker. He served in the U.S. Air Force in the Second World War, an experience that he used in his highly memorable first novel, Catch-22, which was an all-out bestseller. If you've never read it, I do suggest that you do so as soon as possible. I found it one of the funniest books I've ever read in my life. I just couldn't put it down. I still absolutely love it. He began writing the book by thinking up the first line, which is this: "It was love at first sight." It then took him 8 years to finish the book, but it was worth waiting for. Sadly, Heller never repeated his bestseller success with Catch-22, though he did write several other books. Perhaps he struggled with inner demons. I think he did. As someone who fought in World War II, many people had inner demons after that. Well, here is a poem by Virginia Woolf called The Angels of Mons. She was a person who struggled with inner demons, and she's writing here about Mons, of course, was a great battle in World War I, where a lot of soldiers were either killed or wounded, both physically and emotionally. And this rather strange, but I think quite beautiful poem refers to the Angels of Mons, who kept some soldiers safe, saved their lives, but of course had their work cut out. The soldiers who were not killed, a lot of them were very emotionally damaged for years after the war ended, and in fact some never recovered. And this poem, I think, is all about that sort of thing. It's quite hard to understand, I find, but I do think it's got a sort of rather beautiful underlying meaning. See what you think. The Angels of Mons. 5 years after their rescue of troops beaten back in Mons, she danced with them on the downs. Their forms like kites she reeled in with clouds, their halos askew on waves of green escarpments breaking into the sea. Beach brown the coombs she looked down upon while the angels held up her skirts. Rode the rhythms of her walking feet, their wings no longer torn. In a host they balanced, on the alert for ancient armies in retreat, squatting in hunched hawthorns. 1 year after the armistice, in the steep slopes of her temperament, she kept them at her side, to banish the simpering angels of the house, at whom with the sedge they would hiss. The Angels of Mons were her guides. Virginia Woolf was a very deep and rather troubled woman. Maybe this poem she's talking about herself. Of course, she sadly took her own life about in her 40s, I think. Very sad, but she did write some beautiful work. Today, I will practice honesty and face up to my inner demons. That's quite a challenge. Thanks for listening.